going to be talking about some of the Sopranos' mystery characters. These characters are in a few different kinds of categories. You'll see what I mean. Let's dive in.
I may be acting boss while the old man's a guest of the government.
Eckley DeMeo was the boss of the DeMeo family, and then he was sentenced to life in prison, and he's serving that in Springfield. But when Jackie Aprile Sr. dies, though Eckley's name is mentioned while discussing it before it happened,
I don't know if the old man were here, instead of in that cell in Springfield. He'd say, Raymond, this is your moment.
his name was nowhere to be found once Jackie did pass away.
Our friend Jackie has died.
I heard.
Now we need a leader. Sopranos have been waiting a long time to take the reins.
Back when Jackie was at the end, he floated the idea of me stepping up to the big seat. Not Tony, me.
Go easy with the grease gun, okay?
What's this? It's the jacket.
The jacket?
The jacket. I took off Rocco DeMeo.
This Rocco DeMeo, does he have any connection to Eckley DeMeo? Probably not. But when I first heard Richie say Rocco DeMeo, I couldn't help but think of Old Man DeMeo.
Keep in mind that he paid the freight for your Uncle Eckley, or Bonanno.
Who the fuck is Eckley?
Yeah, forget it. Keep thinking you know everything. People are so far behind in a race that they actually believe they're leading.
Eckley Soprano, it was revealed to Tony that Eckley was the brother of Junior and Johnny Boy, and he was mentally disabled, so he was put away in a home.
Actually, Hercules.
Any luck with Kelly?
No.
The daughter of Tony Blundetto.
How's Kelly? How's she doing?
Well, she's lost to us, Anthony. Tony says he's gonna hire a detective.
Meadow talks to Tony B about her in Marco Polo, which is where we learned she lived at the Soprano home at one point and was smart just like her father.
I can imagine how much you must miss her. Your only daughter.
How'd she do in school back then?
Straight A's.
AJ, call Lindsay Blundetto.
Wait, now we have a Lindsay Blundetto too. In season 3, episode 6, University, Carmela tells AJ to call Lindsay Blundetto. Is this a different Blundetto? It just so happens to have the same last name.
We wish he had more to come back to. That ex-wife of his.
They will probably go through their entire lives not knowing that their father's sperm was smuggled out of jail to get Nancy pregnant.
Nancy Blundetto is the ex-wife of Tony Blundetto and mother to Kelly, Jason, and Justin Blundetto. We hear about her and how Tony B's sperm was smuggled out of jail by Tony Soprano in order to get Nancy pregnant.
It's the least I could do.
Dad, give it up. We're not gonna make it to Aunt Patty's.
Carmela's sister, Patty. She lives in the area, but we never see her.
Yeah, that's what they tell you.
I cannot wait until she goes off to college.
All right, so you can be fucked up with the empty nest syndrome and go on Wellbutrin like your sister.
With how close the family is, dysfunction or not, we have the Sunday dinners, many other occasions you can think of, along with cousins of Meadow and AJ. It's hard for me to see how we wouldn't ever see Aunt Patty.
How's Porky Iannucci? You heard from him lately?
Professional arsonist who works with the DeMeo family from time to time. He actually helped Syl burn down the old Vesuvio.
When do you need this body? Right away. Way to go, Meadow!
Beautiful, beautiful. I think I can get a party like that together.
Side out.
In fact, Tony suspects that Ralph might have hired Corky to set the fire that killed Pyomai at the stables.
Where you at?
Yes, you still got the 4 other families who could raise a stink. But Andy's my brother-in-law. I have their ear.
Johnny Sack's brother-in-law. Well, we know that one brother-in-law is Anthony Infante, Lord of the Lenses. Does Ginny Sack have another brother? If that's Andy, then that clears that up. But wouldn't Andy then have come into the picture to help out the family when Johnny was arrested?
But there's differences between this and Castellano.
Maybe Johnny Sack has a sibling or siblings, and one of them is married to this Andy guy. That could also explain the brother-in-law situation.
You're right. I never raised a child. I was robbed of that when Eugene took him back to Montreal.
Wonder where Harpo's eating his Sunday dinner.
Who's Harpo? I'm still petitioning the State Department, but I think they have me on their enemy radicals list.
There's this moment where Olivia says to Janice,
Someday,
I hope you have children of your own and they treat you like this.
So it's possible that Janice never told Livia that she had a child.
Papa knows grandmother died. Him I'll pay for.
Hal is on the pavers, Tony. He's, a street person.
You bring Harpo down here. It's a big place.
Harpo changed his name.
The theory that the guy that Bobby Baccalieri shoots is Harpo, Janice's son. But of course, there's no way to prove that. It's all speculation. But just something that I also wanted to note in terms of the Harpo theory.
That acupuncturist down in Puerto Rico? 26. I'm telling you this broad. Her ass was the second coming.
Shout out to the future episode, The Second Coming.
They push. She even really existed.
It all checks out. Puerto Rico, the clinic.
So maybe he was down in Puerto Rico. And maybe there was really a 26-year-old acupuncturist.
I never saw one bit of violence growing up.
What about your dad's road rage? And didn't you tell me you had a boyfriend once who was killed, shot to death or something?
First of all, he was killed by drug dealers. African Americans, if that makes you feel any better.
Unidentified black males. Those mysterious black guys that get called out many times throughout the series. Every now and then you may think you recognize them, but they're also blamed a lot for things that weren't of their doing, like killing Jackie Jr.
He's a ghost?
On two separate occasions, both following funerals, we see these two mystery men. One of them's in back of Ralph after Jackie Jr.'s funeral, and the other appears behind Tony on the stairs at Livia's wake. There's no real answer for why they're there. If it was a crowd of people, I would have assumed they're just extras, but it's interesting how it's just one specific person.
The Rotellis, the Trillos, he's got something to do with computers. They're a wonderful couple. She invited us to brunch.
Any connection to Gloria Trillo? In season 1, episode 3, Denial, Anger, Acceptance, Carmela hosts a party at the Soprano home to fundraise for the local hospital. This is where Charmaine and Artie cater. And after the party, Carmela specifically mentions a couple, the Trillos, who called to thank her for hosting the party and inviting them to brunch.
Grandpa, you ever work for somebody named Trillo?
There was somebody named Trillo. He had 7 daughters.
Finally, for now anyway, members only jacket guy. Does this guy have any connection to the Pontecorvo family? There's a bit of a resemblance, and there certainly would be motive for wanting to kill Tony because they believe that Tony's the reason for Eugene's suicide. Because keep in mind, Deanne didn't know that the FBI was in the picture. And she even says, why don't you put a bullet in his fucking head? And that was even before Eugene had died by suicide. Stay tuned for plenty more Sopranos character videos.